infrastructure strategies that connect your business to future success. We invite you to completely rethink what your infrastructure can do by virtually visiting the Panduit Experience Center and exploring how we can help you unlock the full potential of your organization. A virtual briefing at our Panduit Experience Center provides an avenue to discover through personalized interactive discussions, explorations of technology trends, and live product demonstrations how your company's physical infrastructure can reduce costs, optimize key technology investments, lower total cost of ownership, and improve performance and safety of your people. Let's collaborate and uncover how we can strategically optimize your infrastructure investment and turn your connectivity into a competitive advantage.
Good afternoon, my EMEA family. This is Ronald Greaves, and I'm calling and connecting in from warm Chicago. Happy to present an overview of Panduit's alternative energy solutions today. And over the last 12 months, we've experienced unprecedented challenges during the COVID pandemic. Renewable energy and the industry as a whole was not insulated from the labor and supply shortages and disruptions that we all saw. But on the contrary, the pandemic accelerated shifts in global renewable energy as well as electric vehicle infrastructure investment. Many governments, I'm sure locally in EMEA as well, and across Europe, are debating whether to stimulate economic recoveries with green growth, looking at policies, whether to fuel renewable energy expansion, or to invest in electrical vehicle infrastructure over the next decade. All right, this is really creating what I would call a perfect storm, where for the first time we're seeing capital markets, political influences, and customers really align and are marching at the same tune. So what does that mean for you? So as a customer, Panduit has made a conscious decision and a commitment to invest for the long-term growth by creating a broad offering and developing solutions, expanding our ecosystem to create a strong global presence in these markets. Now, I'd like to talk a little bit about the three markets that we've decided to focus on. As you can see, the solar market, starting from the left to the right, is about 5.3, or we estimate it to be about $5.3 billion in total available market. And of course, that's for the products that Panduit sells today. We see this market as an aggressively growing market, again, at 17% annual growth rate. Now, the products in this market includes not only the electrical components that we provide, but also the big box items like the transformers, the inverters, the combiner boxes that we also sell our products into. The reality, though, is that Panduit, even though it's a $5.3 billion market, we are still a pretty small fish in a big pond, right? For many large utility scale solar installations, our solutions is really just a rounding error, but it plays a very important part in the overall PV photovoltaic wire management of the overall system. The electric vehicle market already has seen some nice success. Unlike solar, we continue to drive repeatable business in this market. This is a market where we have very strong historical presence from a heavy truck and bus perspective, and are able to drive OEM spec position. We already seen that with one of our recent wins with a customer by the name of Rivian. You may be familiar with Rivian. They are the delivery fleet partner for Amazon, right? So we are seeing a lot of active selling already taking place with the products that we sell today, primarily cable ties, clamps, but we are exploring and are planning to invest in new solutions to further our influence and relevance within the electrical vehicle market. And then wind, a little bit of a mixed bag here. Of course, you look at the onshore market, which is, I would consider, maturing in some regions. However, we are seeing pretty significant investment taking place on the offshore side. And with that comes new technologies, and again, a very large addressable market at $7.6 overall billion within the wind industry. So again, what does that mean for you, and what makes Panduit different, right? So there's really 4 elements that I'd like to focus on in terms of how we go to market and how we differentiate ourselves from other suppliers, right? I'd like to say that Panduit speaks the customer's language, right? So we, no matter what the market is, whether it's renewable energy, we're always interested in solutions that can save time and labor, right? That's ultimately what it comes down to. You look at some of these large installations, high volume installations, the contractor, the installer would likely go with a customer or supplier that provides innovative solutions that minimizes the amount of time and material cost that they would have to supply into these installations. You know, wind and solar farms are typically located in remote and difficult to access locations. That's why it's important for us to stand behind, and we do stand behind, our product quality and the useful life that our products can provide. Right. Typically, we've seen in a lot of solar installations, customers ask for a 2 to 5 year warranty on their products, and we feel very comfortable with our strong history of product quality that we can far surpass that requirement. And then consistent across all markets that Panduit serves, you've already seen it in some of the earlier presentations. You know, we bring differentiated value through our partnership, right? Really selling almost exclusively through our distribution partners and ensuring that our technical experts are available to help you get the spec right. I want to talk a little bit about our solar solution, right? So we are not new to the solar business. I would say we have a very strong product offering, a strong history selling into the solar market. We are considered one of the leaders in terms of the electrical balance of system components into the solar industry. And really, compared to our competitors, we have and offer 75% of the behind the panel balance of system solutions. So as you can see from this graphic, whether it's stainless or plastic ties, edge clips, electrical tape, identification solutions, grounding, connectors, it's really a broad array of products and solutions that we bring to the table, backed up by our consistent investment in R&D to drive new innovative solutions into the solar market. And I do want to talk for just a minute about the segmentation and how we see the market kind of segmented within the solar industry. Right here, I've highlighted 3 core segments: the residential market, commercial industrial, and then the utility scale. Now, historically, I'd say 95% of our business has been into the large utility scale projects, which are often now backed up by energy storage systems, right? Energy storage plays a very important role in the balancing act that helps create a more flexible and reliable grid system when there's more supply than demand. Right, so you can see the utility scale sector, even though it has the fewest number of total projects, these solar farms are enormous. And by enormous, just think about, for you guys in Europe, 1,000 football fields of just row after row of solar panels. Right, so for example, a 100 megawatt project, I'd say the average Panduit addressable value is about 100,000 euro, and so not a drop in the bucket. Pretty significant opportunity to drive mutual growth within these large-scale solar farms. And again, the growth rate very attractive within the utility market at 17%. I would say, though, that the products that we sell into the utility market also cross over quite nicely into the commercial and large industrial space. So whether that's commercial rooftops or other private owners that are investing in green technology, there are opportunities for you to cross-sell the same products into commercial and industrial applications. So like solar, 2020 by far was the best year in history for the global wind industry. Again, we saw unprecedented investment even during the pandemic, and we continue to see that again into the first half of 2021. Just last year we saw growth at 53%, right? Really an unprecedented rate. And there's a lot more challenges and headwinds, I think, in the offshore market, especially you think about the technology to bring the energy back to the grid. But we are making advancements, and we have recently launched an undersea wind solution that I think is really going to take off in the market and bring a solution to one of the major problems that customers have been facing with offshore applications. And by far, I think strategically we are in a great position that is our EMEA team being locally positioned in Europe, where many of the OEM turbine manufacturers like the Siemens Gamesas, the Vestas, the GE Winds are already located. So I think great opportunity for us to sell, again, existing Panduit solutions. You can see from this graphic, we touch everything from the turbine all the way back to the control center, where our network and communication technology and components play a very important role in the overall ecosystem of a wind farm. And again, similar to the solar market, I drawn up here a segmentation of the wind market. Again, compounded annual growth rate for new generation capacity is very attractive for both onshore and offshore. The level of installations, I believe, is expected to quadruple by 2025, and that's backed up by publicly available data. Today, Panduit primarily sells cable ties, but the sky is really the limit for us, right? We have strong opportunities in our grounding solutions, identification, network infrastructure solutions, all used in these installations. Really, my goal as the alternative energy lead for Panduit is to build out a strategy that takes our addressable market from about $20,000 per farm to over 100,000 euro for each turbine, right? So over the next year, you will start to see a more concise and consolidated messaging, product offering, collateral to support Panduit's aggressive growth aspirations in this market. And I thought I'd put together a chart that would help you understand really the opportunity that's available in your local market. So this is leveraging, again, data from the EIC database, a publicly available database that we subscribe to. It shows across the three markets, solar, onshore wind, and offshore wind, what the overall opportunity is in terms of project value in each of the European countries, right? So I can definitely work with your local salesperson to get a more detailed view of this information. As you can see on the second slide, the overall value for the solar business is about $46 billion. You look at offshore wind, it dwarfs the total between solar and onshore wind, right? So a lot of great investment being realized, and we will continue to see that at least over the next decade as both the public and private sector set more aggressive goals for green and renewable energy. So the EV market is now moving into the spotlight, right? We are seeing great strides, not just in terms of overall sales opportunity, but original equipment manufacturers, OEMs, have also invested billions to deliver new electrified models, right? All the way from the R&D to factory design, consumer attitudes have evolved. Personally, I can tell you my next vehicle is going to be an EV, simply because there's less moving parts, right? I don't have to worry about the constant maintenance. There's no oil change. There's no battery changes. It's really all driven off the grid, and the resale value, as you probably recognize, is much higher than a traditional combustible vehicle, right? So in this market, I would classify Panduit as a sleeping giant, given our strategic significance, again, with traditional heavy duty and truck OEMs. Our, I'd say, cost of goods today is quite low. We're selling primarily ties and clamps and maybe a few customized solutions into the market. But as we continue to invest in these four sub-vertical markets, we will begin to uncover some innovative routing, protecting solutions for the electric vehicle market. And again, my goal as the business lead for Panduit is to develop collateral showcasing the new and relevant technologies like VeriSafe, which we've already sold and are planning to sell into Tesla factories across not just in Europe, but across their manufacturing facilities globally, right? So we are very excited about the EV market takeoff. I think Panduit is ideally positioned. You are ideally positioned to grow with us mutually as we invest for long-term growth in this market. And I did want to touch on the digital marketing and assets that we've spent probably the last 6 months developing to support not just the education, but also the awareness of Panduit's offering within these segments. For the very first time, we have a consolidated solar brochure, a wind brochure, and other assets, whether it's installation videos, landing page for our solar and renewable energy website. And so really a very strong lineup of digital assets to provide the right information and awareness to customers to help them make the best decision. With that, I'd like to transition. I have a very short video. I'd like to showcase our solar energy solutions and give you guys a chance to see exactly how Panduit is positioned within this market.
Panduit is a leading provider of balance of system BOS components for the solar industry. Our robust physical infrastructure solutions have evolved to play a vital role in renewable energy production facilities worldwide. Our solar energy solutions are easy to install and have been tested in extreme environments to provide a safe and reliable solution. As the solar industry has matured, solar-derived power has evolved from simple panels to complex assemblies of solar conversion devices, control systems, and transmission stations. Panduit provides customers a robust end-to-end solution for solar energy that prioritizes system reliability, productivity, and safety throughout the infrastructure. Our solution aligns critical control, power, and network distributed systems to maximize the creation and delivery of solar-derived electricity. Select products in Panduit's solar panel solution include patented time-saving features to ease the installation process. For example, our plastic and metal edge clips in SMC connectors are designed with productivity in mind. Used to manage PV cables on the solar panel, edge clips feature an adjustable design for universal rack sizes and a teeth lock feature to prevent movement. These edge clips are installed by simply snapping right into place, with no tools needed. Metal clips are used for 25 to 30-year life rating, and plastic clips are used where there is a concern of galvanic corrosion. SMC connectors are just as easy to install. Just strip the cable and crimp the connector. Then insert into housing and tighten end caps until you hear an audible click. Push the connectors together for a snap fit to complete the installation. Our combination of engineering and manufacturing expertise means our full portfolio of solutions is broad and deep, covering up to 75% of a typical PV installation electrical BOS. From grounding C-tap connectors and lay-in lugs to cable management solutions such as stainless steel and nylon 12 cable ties, edge clips and cable cleats to print-on-demand identification labels, multi-connectors, electrical tape, and network connectivity products, Panduit has been leading the way, partnering with EPCs and solar installers on PV installations. Best practice methodologies, end-to-end support, and a comprehensive portfolio of solutions position Panduit as the leading provider of robust physical infrastructure solutions for meeting today's solar energy demands, powering today and tomorrow.
All right, thank you. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to, and you're in for a real treat, Dr. Rick Campanella. He's been our fiber optic research founder, and he's been with the company over 20 years. He has deep experience and history in this space, and he's here to share with you his experience and overview of our fiber optic research. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Dr. Rick.